All right. Hey, how's it going, everyone? Welcome to another installment of the Rambling Film Group podcast. I hope you guys are having a great week so far. We're enjoying it ourselves. We're going to get into some more news topics today. We got a couple things from the last week and a half, more I guess, closer just to a week, actually.
Yeah.
But we'll begin this out to you as soon as we can. But before we jump in and actually get started, I want to make sure my teammates here have an opportunity to, if you're watching for the first time, introduce themselves or just, have a moment to say what's up to the audience. So I'll start with the person sitting directly beside me, Kelsey.
Hi, guys.
She doesn't like to do big, long intro, so that's it. I'm going to pass it all the way over to Sai.
Hi, everybody. Glad to be here. Hopefully we can get this new stuff out to you as quickly as possible. As Chuck mentioned, we got a lot of stuff to talk about, so we may be putting it in multiple videos. So if that is the case, if you see a video that says part whatever, if you're still interested, go look for the next part so you can get all the news. But yeah, let's go ahead and get this started.
All right.
All right. So the first topic we have on our list, our docket, as you might say, is it looks like DiCaprio and Spielberg are going to be partnering for a new film. Did either of you have any more information on it? Is there any more details? Is it just simply, do we know what studio they're working with or anything like that? Do we just know they're going to work on a project together again?
Yeah, that's basically it. I'm the one that put this one down, and really all it said was they're partnering up again, doing a new movie. No word on the studio, no word on what it's going to be. So, again, look out for us probably in the next couple of months to update on this topic as information comes. And we'll definitely give that to you guys as soon as possible because, DiCaprio and Spielberg, two very big names in film. So I think a lot of people will be interested in that, and we'll definitely bring the information as soon as we get it.
Yeah. I mean, they're pretty solid. They're a pretty solid team.
Yeah, they work together well.
They've had at least two collaborations, I'm pretty sure, right?
I think so.
There's more than that.
There might be more than that. I'm trying to
Catch Me If You Can.
Yeah.
And then there's the one where he's Howard Hughes, right? Is that a Spielberg one?
Well,
I think it is. I'm pretty sure it is.
That's what I thought, but now I'm like,
we could be wrong.
Yeah. We definitely could be.
Don't hold don't hold that as, factual.
Yeah. Feel free, if you're listening, feel free to comment and correct us. Just don't be a jerk about it or anything. Like, oh, you idiots, it's this. But,
I mean, you can be. It's fine.
Yeah.
I guess it's you, according to Kelsey. But I would prefer if you stay polite, because we're being polite right now. So.
Now, sometimes those polite thing or be a jerk. It's fine. It's welcome, essentially.
Anyways, yeah. Okay. So no more to really talk about on that one.
Yeah, I mean, I know nothing. So.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, then we'll move right along. The other story. Well, not the other story. I always want to say the other story when there's like 8 more.
The next story.
I don't know. There we go. The next story that we have for you guys is an interesting one, I'd say, to say the least. Jennifer Aniston is going to be playing, I believe, is she the first female president in this?
It doesn't say.
I could have sworn I thought I saw something also online about it. I thought it was saying she was going to be the first female president in this film, and also happens to be a lesbian.
So I was as I was typing this, I was gonna put first just naturally, but then I looked at the title and it didn't say whether she was the first actual female. It did mention she was the first, lesbian female, obviously, but it didn't comment on if she was the first female president. But I do feel like that's probably a safe assumption.
Gotcha.
See, I was thinking the opposite because it says it's called First Ladies. So that makes me think that there may have been another First Lady. Or else why not just call it First Lady?
Yeah.
To center around the both of them.
The both of who?
Her and her wife.
Yeah, but only one of them's called the First Lady. The other one's the president.
Well, I mean, since they're lesbians, this is whole new territory. We don't know what to call them.
Right. Well, like, I mean, if you think about, like, you have the president and then the first lady. So if they're lesbians, then you have the president and the first lady. They're not both the first lady.
That
One
is
of them
true.
has the title of president.
I don't. Yeah. Okay. So it probably, like I said, it probably is multiple female presidents, or maybe not. I don't know. It just the article just didn't specify, so I didn't want to.
We'll find out.
Yeah.
Either way, it's really cool.
Yeah.
Yay Netflix.
Again,
I like
doing
it.
something different that
It's supposed to be a comedy?
I think so, which I'm not gonna lie, that kind of hurt. Like, I would more so want that to be more of a serious kind of film to show how strong a female. Huh?
Yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I was just trying to say at the same time, though, with who they cast, because Jennifer Aniston, and then the person that they cast to be playing her wife is a comedian.
Who's
also. She's not super famous. I forgot what her name actually is, but she's had like bit roles and stuff here and there.
Got it.
But that just leads me to think it's supposed to be more.
I mean, I get that. I totally get that with who they casted. I just think the idea of introducing like the first, lesbian, and especially since she will, obviously be a female, it would have been better, in my opinion, for it to be more of a serious role, to see like how a female president will interact with society and other stuff like that, especially when you put in the gay aspect of that. It kind of dwindles it a little bit if you're going to have it be jokey all over the place. I would prefer for it to be a little bit more serious. Just my opinion.
No, I'm with you. I would think that too. I didn't know it was going to be a comedy because I don't really apparently know anything, but I was like, when I was first thinking about it, I was thinking it'd be somewhere. I was honestly thinking like between like House of Cards type thing and like Scandal type drama. Right. That's kind of what I was picturing, because I think it lends itself very well to that. But I mean, maybe it'll be very insightful comedy, and I can get behind that as long as it's not, like you said, like just jokey stuff. I mean, maybe. I mean, I can't judge. I've never seen anything of it yet, but I would like it more, I feel like. Or I'd be more excited for it if it was
a
something
drama
closer to that.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's another we'll have to just kind of wait and see what ends up coming out.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
So moving right along, this is a bigger story. At least in terms of like what we're most interested in and like stuff like that, I guess. But so we got some news out of Marvel, particularly Spider-Man, and so kind of like two stories kind of caught up in one. Is I think the bigger aspect of it to me personally is that it's I've seen different titled articles where it's in talks. I've seen where it's like it's a done deal. He's been cast.
Yeah,
but it looks like, at the very least, Jake Gyllenhaal is circling joining the MCU in the role of a villain in the Spider-Man Homecoming sequel. And it appears that villain role would be Mysterio. And that, we've also got the information that, I almost said Diane Keaton. Michael, that would be very different.
Diane Keaton is coming back as Michael Keaton's previously played Vulture.
Yep, and unless you're like me, don't be a fool and think Michael Keaton died, because when I first posted this, or when I first wrote this, I was thinking to myself, wait, how is he going to come back? He's dead. Marvel didn't kill him off. I totally forgot about that for a split second, because, they always kill off their villains, so I was just, going with history. But
I was just keeping it coming.
Yeah. So no, he's still alive. He's in jail. Somehow he's gonna get out. Like all these baddies do. That's another thing that bothers me about comic books and comic book movies. If you're having these villains in like the highest of protection jails, how in the world do they keep getting out? Like the Joker has escaped from Arkham 100 and probably more than 100 times. How does that happen? But I won't get into that today. I won't get into that today.
Oh. I was just going to say, I mean, they're villains, so they're determined they can get out of anything, no matter how good it is.
Does there any other thoughts on on these topics?
I mean, I'm always excited for anything that I feel like Jake Gyllenhaal is an actor that he's generally like gets me excited for any movie that he's in just because he is so good.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he'll play a villain role incredibly, no matter what that villain role is. I feel like he'll be just fine because he can do that. Because he can do creepy and stuff real well. Real well. But he also can do like sympathetic if they want to make it like a more sympathetic type villain or whatever, you know. So he'll be great in whatever role if it is true, if it's already happening. You know? Yeah. And then for Vulture coming back, I mean, I'm hoping it doesn't play like a significant role because I'm not the biggest fan of I was not the biggest fan of him in Homecoming just because I was not convinced at all for the reason like that he turned into a villain, which I'm pretty sure we've probably gone over this before.
I don't know if we have on
I don't know if we have either.
Talking about it.
So I haven't talked to you guys. Like I haven't actually talked to Kelsey about it. What was wrong with the reason why he became a villain?
Because their whole thing, it like starts off this damn movie. I was so freaking excited. With like in like 2 minutes, I'm like, I'm pissed off. Because his thing was that like the government like canceled his contract with like all of his guys, and like his guys didn't get paid. And now he's just trying to earn back money and all this other stuff. There's no way that would ever go down. He would still get paid for his contract price if the government takes it over. It's in the freaking Constitution. Like, there's
we're talking about movies don't follow the Constitution. Like,
I understand that, but it's super, super frustrating when it's...
That's like watching an alien movie and going, we can't go that far into space. Why are they doing this?
I understand that, but I feel like they could have come up with any other compelling reason other than just like the government's the big bad people and they took away any chance he had for livelihood. Like, okay, dude, well, like even if they canceled that one thing, get another freaking job. What are we doing here? You're still a contractor. You still have skills. You still can do all this stuff. Go.
So I get what you're talking about. I totally get that. But it also kind of plays into the realistic how people view the government nowadays. That people are losing jobs and like, you know, they've been doing this job for 20 years or whatever. How are they going to support their family? And in a comic book world, I guess, you know, your best choice is to become the Vulture.
I just am not convinced that like losing one job is enough for him to be like, oh, that's it. I tried to do it the right way. I guess I can't anymore. Like, I have to become a villain. There is no other choice I have for my family. So I just was not convinced because the first time that we see him, like, yeah, he's getting screwed over. That is definitely not an issue here. Zuri, get away from his food. My dog.
You're going to get yourself bit.
She keeps trying to eat the other dog's food. The big boy alpha dog's food. Anyway, she doesn't understand. Then he starts to growl. She's just like, what? What did I do? Anyway, it just sucks. So, like, the first moment we see him, like, yeah, he gets screwed over. I'm not saying what he went through doesn't happen. I'm not saying it doesn't suck. I'm not saying that it's like, oh, it, like, breaks your heart. You feel for him. Like, oh, all of his guys. I'm okay, Colin. I understand. All of his guys are like, everybody's out of a job now. Like, yeah, that definitely sucks. But at the same time, he would have still been paid for at least part of the work that he did, at the very least part of the work of what he did. And just go get another job, man. That's not it. You are very, like, I mean, you're very skilled. You can build all this crap. Like, go get a job.
Technically,
like
he didn't build it. He wasn't the builder.
What?
He wasn't the person building that stuff.
I mean, like, he's still the leader who can assemble the crew to get stuff done.
I get you. I get it.
I was just like, this is stupid. This guy. I'm generally on board for sympathetic villains. Where I like the dynamic where it's like, oh, you feel for them, you know, like you're like, yeah, it sucks. You're not doing this the best, but I totally get that. Like, I like that dichotomy that like a lot of villains get. I really appreciate that. This to me, I was just like, I don't buy this crap at all.
All right. Do you have anything else to add to that, Chuck?
Sorry.
I don't want to cut you.
Coming up.
To say everybody, it's a little bit of a point of contention for her on that.
It is.
I didn't realize it was that serious, so I apologize for having her go into that.
Yeah, you kind of opened up Pandora's box on that.
Yeah, my bad. And it's honestly not that serious at the end of the day. It
feels like it's kind of serious.
I'm just a very passionate, I'm just a very passionate speaker, and I'm a very opinionated, so that's what it is. But it didn't take away from the movie at all. I still really enjoyed Spider-Man: Homecoming. I still really appreciate everything that movie did. I still really love it. So it's not like I'm from the get-go, I hated the entire film.
You literally said 15 minutes into it, you were mad.
I was for 2 minutes, but then you get over it because there's other redeeming qualities in the film. It's not like I was all right, and I walked out.
You didn't walk out, but that was the first thing you said. You said it in the theater, and then the first thing when we left, you're like, that you couldn't get over that. It did target for you.
All right. Next subject. I'm sorry, people.
We gotta.
Next subject.
Yeah, my bad. I still enjoyed it.
Real quick, I didn't actually get to say
anything
off topic, so I just wanted to share my quick thoughts. That's cool that that they're gonna have Keaton back in it. My only real thing is I only feel I'm not happy, particularly that this just doesn't seem like a big enough role for Jake Gyllenhaal to me personally. I mean, I don't know Mysterio as well. I'm definitely not trying to slight him or anything like that, but he's such a great actor that I would much rather see him be someone's top villain or a hero if he's going to get involved in the superhero world at all. So it just doesn't seem enough.
All right, so to add on to that, because I already had two things I kind of wanted to mention that I forgot about, but to add on to that, you have to think about the fact that Spider-Man is a Sony character. Sony's kind of been, a little bitch about giving Disney the villain characters. So, they only have so much to go off of, one. And, I wouldn't be surprised if they make Mysterio a bigger deal than what he is in the comics.
They'll probably piece him up to fit the caliber.
Right. I doubt Jake would take the role thinking that it's going to be a small-time kind of character that's not exciting to the fans or whatever the case may be. So, Marvel has a lot of things that they can do to add or take away from the character to make him a little bit better because, again, Sony doesn't really feel the need to give them the bigger villain names because they want to do their little, villain universe without Spider-Man and give that a go.
That's a good point.
And
I just hope he's not a one and done.
That's true. That's very true. And then on top of that, I don't know if you noticed this, but since Jake is basically taking this also means that he's obviously not going to play Batman. Because that was a rumor that he was thinking about doing that. This kind of pushes that out of the window. So,
well, I would definitely assume it would. Yeah, I don't think you can just hop back and forth like that. That'd be something. That'd be kudos if you could
you would have to be an amazing actor to be able to do that.
I think you'd be capable of doing it. It would just simply be I doubt the studios would be able to
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Contract where he could
I think the actor would have to basically be one of those that guarantees people are going to go in their seats for the studio to be like, okay, we'll kind of let you do this, but
yeah. Because I don't think Warner Brothers would have any problem with it because then if you have the accidental Marvel fans who think they're going to see this, I don't think Warner Brothers would be complaining at all if they still got him to play.
True.
I think it'd be more on the side of Marvel being like, oh no, that will not be happening.
And then we don't have this listed, but speaking of Batman, it does sound like Ben actually wants to continue playing him. I really, really wish this would stop. I am tired of the back and forth.
I think to talk about it because I'm tired of just talking about nothing without any substantiated concrete evidence behind it.
It's again with the WB. They just throw out all the information, whether it's true, whether it's not true. With the rumors.
Now this might not be
I just mean it surrounds them.
WB
Yeah,
stories.
yeah.
I think we can come to an agreement here that until something's like definitive in writing, we're not going to talk about who's playing Batman. Like,
until they're like, okay, we're starting production next week. I'm not going to talk about.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I would say once things have started production, they actually do happen. Now they don't always work out how they're intended to, but they do happen. They finish at that point.
Oh, WB.
Yeah, well, let's not get depressed. So let's move forward, and got another story where it looks like Liam Neeson is being cast in a. I'm gonna do quotation marks if I can get them in. I'm going. Sorry, they might actually be huge in the picture. I'm going off the little square I have to see myself. But I'll just go for it then. The lead role in Men in Black. In the new Men in Black. I realized, and then I saw the thing. I was like, oh well, that's probably just like all they saw was my finger quotes. But whatever, it wasn't that long. We'll fix it in post.
Yeah. So in case you missed it through the laughter, Liam Neeson. Yes, I can't speak. I'm done. I tried.
Cast in a lead role. I don't want to say the lead role.
A lead role
in the coming Men in Black reboot. Because I don't think it's a sequel.
It is a reboot.
Yeah. So yeah, that's interesting because especially like we were talking about this briefly earlier. The part that's kind of confusing to us, I think, is because it's saying lead role when we both assume, or all three of us, we assume that the lead roles for this movie are going to be Chris Hemsworth and Tessa Thompson.
Yep.
So, thoughts?
I mean, I just...
Sorry, my dog stepped on my foot. Or she stepped on my sandal, where I had my foot, like, if you just bounce it on your heel, and so it just kind of hyperextended my ankle. That's,
Please continue, Zach.
Yeah, I mean...
Sports injury knowledge to you guys.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing really to talk about on this topic is what character he's going to play and why it's being called a lead role. I guess, I mean, we talked about kind of like the boss guy, maybe that's who he's playing. Another option would be maybe he's the main villain.
Yeah, that's good.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
That's a great thought.
Wow.
Yeah, so I mean, I would put more on the villain than I would the boss, but still, there's a lot of questions about what he would be playing and why it's being considered as a lead character.
Yeah,
I like your theory of the villain now. I like that a lot.
Thank you. I didn't think about it earlier, but it kind of hit me that maybe there has to be a villain in Men in Black, obviously. So maybe
You would assume.
But yeah, so no, I think that's a really good thought. More than he's the second and a half Men in Black type thing.
2.5 Men in Black.
Well, because I don't think he's actually going to be another person, but it still says lead role, so I feel like he would still have to have
he's not going to be one of their partners. Like it's not going to be a trio now. So
Yeah.
Duo.
But if he's still in a lead role, then he's still, I don't know.
Forgive me if I'm looking off camera here and there, audience. The Western Conference Finals are going. It's a pretty intense game right now.
Basketball is more important than our actual jobs. That's what he's telling me.
We're prioritizing.
It's the closing minutes, so I'll be able to give my full attention in a little bit.
It's like 6 minutes left in basketball time.
Yeah, that's like another 30 minutes, bro.
Exactly. My point exactly.
You're right, because it is a 1 point game.
Yep.
Well, I'll be with you when I'm with you guys. Which is
great job, babe. Okay.
All right. Anyway, next topic.
Yes. So we got a little information on the Watchmen series that's coming to HBO. I think the main update is that we've learned that it's going to be taking place in a modern context, so they're not keeping it set in. I believe it's the 80s, right? Yeah, it's the 80s that it's originally set, like the source material is set in. But yeah, it's set in our modern context. And I think they're taking some other liberties with it here and there. So, it's going to be interesting to say the least. It's one of those situations that I feel like for a lot of people, It's gonna be hard measuring up to the live action adaptation that we already have.
Yep.
So yeah, it's kind of in that tricky area where I felt like they had to kind of do with the Joker. When there's something that's come before it that's done really well, you kind of have to take a lot of liberties. Otherwise, it's
never gonna compare. Like, it's just,
yeah, exactly.
Agreed.
So that
basically the same thing.
Yeah, the only thing I really have to add to it is I am curious if it's at all going to be connected to the DCEU, because I want to say Man of Steel, there were some hints that the Watchmen are in the universe. I think there's at least one movie in the DCEU where there are hints that the Watchmen is connected.
There's the only thing I know of in those terms of like Easter eggs is when in Batman v Superman when they're fighting, there is a written, like I think in French, in the building where they're fighting. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I couldn't remember which movie it was though. I thought it was BVS. So yeah, I mean, I am kind of curious if there is. I know there's not like a big, sign that says Watchmen are here or anything. It is a very small detail. But I am curious if there are going to be some connections to the DCEU.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, like, given like the run that's going on in the comics right now with the Doomsday Clock and everything like that, that'd be pretty crazy if they tried to hint towards adapting something that's still recent.
Yeah.
With all the stuff that's come before and everything like that. I haven't been able to read any of that line yet, but yeah, that's all I really have on it right now. That would be interesting if they would try to connect it. But I see them doing that because it just seems to be completely the opposite of what they're kind of doing right now. They're kind of just playing it completely fast and loose with continuity right now.
Oh, yeah.
They got
absolutely
so many different universes, so
and
I'd be really surprised if they did.
And to people that would say, it wouldn't connect because they don't connect the CW shows, well, let's also think about this. Ben and all the characters that are in the DC, all the actors that are in the DCEU would probably be more willing to, do a pop-up on HBO than they would the CW. So that also kind of plays into it too. But again, very big, I doubt it'll happen, but it is something that is in the realm of possibility, I think.
Right, I think it actually might be too. Because you're right, like the whole like it being on HBO kind of gives it like a step up, And then you said like, I mean, they're playing fast and loose with the continuity, which they are, but they're, this is going to sound, I don't know how I'm going to say this, they're being like very consistent in their inconsistencies with their continuity.
I mean,
like,
she's right.
Certain things, like there are the CW shows. Those are clearly DC Comics. They're CW shows. Nothing else is in there. And then you have like the movie universe, and it seems and it seems like nothing else is in there. Armin, it's fine. I'm just gonna pause.
Yeah, bear with us a second. Sorry, might have to edit it a little bit. Hey,
Armin,
get inside.
Get inside.
Inside. Enough.
Go lay down.
Sorry about that.
No biggie.
But like they are like being consistent, and they have the movie universe, they have the CW shows, then they have these like almost like anthology type things that they want to potentially do, like with like the Joker and like Harley Quinn having like their own thing. Do you know what I'm talking about?
About that.
Well, the Harley,
that's probably the wrong word.
Well, the Joker and Harley movie, from what it sounds like, it's not going to really be connected to the DCU. So if that's what you're talking about.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, where they're still using DC characters, but that aren't connected at all. So while they are playing fast and loose with continuity, they do have like compartments for each of these things.
Yeah.
And they're just like, I mean, it's kind of just like an arbitrary line, like, no, these don't connect, but they don't connect. So, I mean, maybe they do, and maybe this is what they're going to try to do to try to help pick up some interest or some goodwill with certain people, you know what I mean? Because I'd be more willing, I mean, if I wasn't such a huge fan, because they can just mess up everything, and I'm still going to be like, maybe they'll get this one right. But, like, if I'm a more casual fan, I might be willing to give, like, an HBO series a shot more than I would another movie because it is something different. It is a TV series. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Right.
But maybe. So what I'm saying is, like, I think it might be a real possibility. I didn't thought about that until you mentioned it, but I think it might be real.
Smoke meth and hell, Satan, no!
That part needs to be kept. I think if people ask, like, hey, what is it that you guys do? Like, in a quick little snippet, that's what needs to be.
You know what?
What do you guys?
You're gonna have to remind. You're gonna
average podcast.
You're gonna have to remind me to like keep that one.
that one's so good.
That little 1 second snippet.
I think it's a good like introduction for what we're about.
Oh god! And then I gotta delete like the explanation as to why it came up. No, just smoke meth and hell, Satan.
Yeah, just no explanation at all. Like no introduction, just that.
Oh man. Okay. All right. So
sorry, my bad.
So I'm not even gonna like act like we're starting over. That way, it kind of cuts a little bit more together.
Yeah.
So here we go.
Okay. So the next story that we have on the docket is one that I'm a fan of. Krypton on Sci-Fi has been officially renewed for a second season. So I'm really, really happy about that. I was very hesitant and wary about, this show wasn't announced. But then as we got more information, I was like, oh, the angle that they're going for it? I'm sold. Yeah. And then when we finally saw footage, I was like, oh, wow, okay, they didn't skip on the budget or anything like that. I'm in. And thankfully, from the jump, it's been solid. It's been good. It wasn't something that I felt like I had to, tough it out and hope for it to get better. I was enjoying it from the jump, and it's just gotten better and better as it's gone on. You guys' thoughts?
I love Kelsey's little. She like looks at the screen like I'm not talking, so you better talk. And all right, yeah. I mean, I agree. I think it's all something that we're all excited for. I'm actually surprised it kind of took this long to get it confirmed for season 2, because from what I heard, it was like doing really, really well the first couple of weeks. So sometimes they'll announce the season 2 after like 3 or 4 episodes.
Yeah.
So I am a couple of weeks behind, just due to busyness and not being able to watch it. So I do need to catch up on that. But I will definitely be doing that as soon as possible because I really enjoy the show. As you mentioned, Chuck, like it is a different angle, but it's an enjoyable one that they presented to us. So I'm really happy that it's going to get a season 2, and hopefully we get more from there. Hopefully it's not, just a one or 2 season type of thing, and it continues to go forward.
That's honestly the biggest thing with me right now from watching the season finale is coming tomorrow, and just from where we've been going, where we're headed, and everything like that. What's been in my mind is I've been curious, what is going to be next? Like I'm not really sure what's about to happen.
I will.
So that's like, or rather, how is this going to continue into a second season? Because I just thought the premise of it lends itself to a one-off.
Yeah. I will admit that the without kind of spoiling anything for the viewers, if you haven't watched it yet, because I know a lot of people kind of wait until it gets on streaming sites and stuff. So if you haven't watched it, I will admit they picked one of the biggest, baddest villains they could choose for the first season. So yeah, it does kind of make you wonder where would they go with the second season, considering who they presented in the first one. So that'll also be interesting to watch.
Yes, for sure. And I'm going to spoiler alert. We're going to put it in there because I want to ask you. I know you said you're still a little bit behind. Are you any further than the last time we had talked? Okay, that's what I want to check. Because I'm waiting to hear your opinion when the main twist of the season happens.
Yeah, when I was gonna get caught up, I went back to the hospital. So
Yeah.
no, I haven't, been able to catch up yet.
Okay.
But now that I know the season finale's tomorrow, I'll probably binge watch it tomorrow.
Okay. Oh yeah, because the finale is tomorrow. So yeah, that'd be cool if we can do like within this week, if we could still do like a
season review.
Season review. Because we haven't really talked about it. I think right now is probably the most we've actually talked about.
It probably is, and that's mostly my fault, so I'll take blame for that one.
Oh, no worries.
It was my fault for a good bit too, because I was behind for a few weeks.
We're all to blame.
Everybody.
All that smoking meth and praising Satan we're doing.
I don't know. When we've been watching it recently, and I don't know if this is a spoiler or not, probably not, I won't be anything specific. I don't know how this thinking thing's going to wrap up, like how all these ends are going to be tied up in this last episode, because I've been feeling that way for not really a couple weeks, because I had to binge catch up, but for the past couple episodes, I'm like, how is this going to be wrapping up and ending in 3 episodes? Because I don't see what's going to go on to make that happen.
Yeah, I'll admit, even though I'm behind way further than you guys are, there are so many. There's the main story, obviously, but there are multiple side stories that, now that I think about it, is kind of how are they going to wrap all of this up? And maybe they won't, and that's where the second season comes into play, is because not everything is wrapped up in a nice, fancy bow. So, that makes sense too.
Yeah, which I could be fine with, because I enjoy all the side stories. Sometimes there's shows where it's I do not care. Why am I wasting my time with this? But I actually enjoy all the different side things. So I wouldn't mind if they continued on to the next season. That would just be my only thing, is just how are we going to wrap this up? And I'm excited it's getting renewed, but kind of what you guys were saying, just with the bigness of everything, where do we go from here?
Absolutely.
It'll be interesting to see, but I'm really excited for it.
Same. All right.
My final is just super quick. It's only 10 episodes, and that just kind of points to the whole thing. I think shows, especially like that, are definitely better suited when they're 10 to 12 episodes a season. Yeah. I think The Flash, in particular, this season would have been a lot better. And granted, we've missed a good several, but
we're behind 6 to 7 weeks.
Yeah, but I would have felt much more a point okay, we need to catch up a lot more. So I think if it had been more compact, and
that's why anime is so great. Their seasons are only 12 episodes max most of the time.
We're currently watching Dragon Ball Z, so
that doesn't count. That doesn't count.
Yeah.
There are, don't get me wrong, there are a couple where the sagas are 20, 30 episodes. But in general, most animes are 12 episodes.
Gotcha.
No, I believe that. It's just funny that the most recent thing we're watching, I was like, good Lord, we're still in season 1, we're on episode 38.
So are you guys watching Z, or are you watching Super? Or are you watching both?
We're watching both.
I started putting on Z because she was still doing finals, and I just wanted something to be on. But then she got invested, and so it just turned into something that we just started.
Because it's been so long since I've watched it from the beginning that I was like, oh, great.
But that's why we stopped watching Super, because she was invested.
Because I was invested and I couldn't be distracted.
So,
I will admit,
but now we're just on this kick. So
I will admit, you do get hooked watching Gohan not be a bitch for those couple of episodes, and then he grows into a little pussy, and it's God dang it!
Gohan. It's not his fault.
Gohan's sorry, it's not his fault. It's Toriyama's. But Gohan's arc is terrible. Actually, I can't blame Toriyama. It's the fans. Because Toriyama was actually going to have Dragon Ball Z be about Gohan. And then you can even notice that it's leaning towards that way. And then when fans heard about that, they basically wrote Toriyama all this hate mail. And so that's why Goku is still the main character, and that will probably never change.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're basically at the point where Gohan's about to be, with Cell just showed up.
The Cell game?
So or
That's my
that's
my favorite arc. Love that arc.
Mine too.
Yeah, I think so as well.
Mine too.
I do like Namek for like the
Oh yeah,
like the poetic justice of it all, with like the taking care of Frieza.
But good lord, we're there for an hour for a real long time.
For 5 minutes. 5 minutes. Here's the thing. Here's what I find funny. 5 minutes in Dragon Ball Z turns into the longest fight in anime history. How did it's ridiculous. It is a great fight though.
It is good. We were saying, like, Charles looked at it, like, after Goku goes Super Saiyan for the first time, there's still 10 episodes left. Yes. And I'm like, even if the 5 minutes had just started, that means each episode is supposed to be taking place in 30 seconds.
Like, when there's a countdown of, like, there being 1 minute of Namek left, there's still, like, 4 episodes.
Yeah. That's seriously weird. I'm doing the math here, and I'm like, oh my goodness, all this is supposed to be taking place in like 10 seconds time. Then it drives me crazy. Like, it's especially irritating for like Goku. I'm like, Goku, get your ass off the planet. It's gonna explode as he's like slowly walking away. And I'm like, Goku, fly.
Or what I hate is when like an episode ends on like they ask a question like, will Goku finally defeat Frieza? And then they announce the name of the next episode, and it's the end of Frieza. I'm like, all right, way to like just kill my suspense right there.
I know. We did the same thing when like the planet blows up, and the next episode's entitled "Goku's Alive."
Yeah, what?
Is this the end of Goku?
Like, all right, I guess it's not. Thanks.
Oh yeah, it's so funny. I mean, it's whatever.
It's
so fun.
The other thing about that whole arc is Bulma and Krillin are the worst in that arc. They are so goddamn annoying. Like
Bulma, when we started watching Super, I was like, why did I hate Bulma? Because she's so good in Super, and I was like, and then like we started rewatching, like, that is why I have in my mind.
So if you hate Bulma in Dragon Ball Z, you probably don't remember Bulma in just the original Dragon Ball. She's worse in just Dragon Ball, and she's more of a prevalent character because, like, for the first, I want to say like 10 to 15 episodes in Dragon Ball, it's just her and Goku. Like they're the main tandem there, and she really matured over the years. Vegeta kind of got her straight.
Thank God.
I still I'm not gonna lie. I kind of want them to do like a little mini 30-minute episode about how Vegeta and Bulma came about, because there's really no explanation in that except for you get Future Trunks, and then Future Trunks tells Goku, "Oh, Vegeta and she's my mom," and you're like, "Wait, they hate each other right now. How did?" Okay.
I would say between that and then there's an episode where Vegeta's like pushing his limits with like the 300 times gravity and 400. Like in that one episode where it shows him training, it shows like Gohan, Goku, and Piccolo training a little bit, but it focuses on Vegeta and Bulma. You see like she's trying to take care of him and stuff like that. But that's the extent. You see that like, I guess there's something there.
Yeah.
But
okay. Anyway, we're off topic again.
Well, I mean, we could talk about the Dragon Ball Heroes anime series.
I guess we could go there. And since I'm the one that knows the most about this, I guess I'll introduce it. So they have announced that we're gonna get a summer Dragon Ball anime. It's gonna be based off the Dragon Ball Heroes game that's in the arcade game that's in Japan. It's a really silly game. It's not something that's ever canon. It has all the characters from whether they're dead or alive, so like expect to see characters that you haven't seen in a while, because they'll probably show up. And like we were talking about this earlier, it's basically gonna be what did I compare it to earlier? Do you remember what I compared?
Naruto. That's something about Naruto, I feel like.
Oh, so there is a Naruto special or a mini series about Rock Lee, who's in a different group, and it's about 50 to 60 episodes. I haven't watched it yet, but it's not connected to Naruto at all. So that's probably what I would suspect this would be like, because it'll be over well before Super the anime comes back. At the most, it might be like it might like end shortly before the movie, but it won't be going into when Super comes back sometime next year. It'll be over well before that. So if you're gonna watch it, don't expect it to really connect to anything that we've seen this far. Even GT, it won't be connected to that.
Gotcha.
You will see though. You will see Super Saiyan 4 though. So I guess in that way it'll be connected, because that version of Goku and Vegeta is in the game, but like story wise, it's not connected.
Yeah,
it's not connected.
Gotcha.
That makes sense.
Okay.
Man, they're just bringing out all the Dragon Ball things, all the things.
Hey, they got a big hit with Super. Then Toei Animation announced that there's a department that only deals with Dragon Ball content. So this isn't necessarily a surprise. The only surprise is that we're getting it so soon. I would more have expected it like later in the year or after the next Super arc next year. But they've been on their job, and I guess they got an idea that they want to do, and they're pushing it out as soon as possible.
That, and they probably have so many other ideas that they want to do for stuff. So they're like, you know what? Let's just crank them out. Go, team.
It sounds like it's gonna be like Disney and Star Wars, where we'll probably get something, back to back to back all the time. So it'll be interesting.
That's kind of fun, though. Something that's like related, like the progression of the story, and then something not as much, and then something progressing the story, something not as much.
And to be honest, that doesn't really happen in anime that often. Like it's either it's
so
connected,
cool.
huh?
So that'll be cool, to see.
Absolutely. So let's see what we got after that. Our last subject, I don't know much about it. I don't know if I think Chuck mentioned he doesn't know much. He just seen good things about it. Would be the Expanse picked up by Amazon?
Yeah, so basically, I'm getting tongue-tied. What I've seen about this show, it's on Sci-Fi as well.
Okay.
And so I see it was on Sci-Fi, technically. It's like about to wrap up. But it's long. Good. It looks like a solid... I've seen people say it's the best sci-fi, like, non-superhero related, can't talk like Krypton is, but just a good, like, solid kind of classic sci-fi show that's on.
Yeah.
And so a lot of people were bummed when it wasn't going to get renewed, but it's getting saved by Amazon. So I just wanted to let people know, in case they are a fan, it's been picked up by Amazon, and that's another series that I know Amazon has now that I know I should check out at some point.
And that just shows Amazon's really trying to work their way into being like a bigger player in this like game, They're just like, oh, you know what? Pick up something successful, all right.
I mean, they better consider they upped the price for Amazon Prime from $109 to $119. So
did they?
Yeah.
Oh, dang, I didn't know that.
It is nice, though.
Let's be real, I'll still pay for it. It's $10.
Oh, yeah, I'll still pay for it, but give me give me a little bit more if you're going to charge me an extra $10.
Yeah. I trust Amazon so much. I was telling Charles, was it yesterday or the other day? Like, if Amazon came out with a phone, I would switch over in a heartbeat. Like, I have an iPhone right now, and I love the Apple iPhone, system. It's super user-friendly, which is so good for me because I'm so technology challenged.
Shout out to Apple.
Yay, Apple. Feel free to sponsor.
Got the Apple Watch, got the iPhone. Then I'm talking to you guys on my Mac. Shout out to Apple.
Shout out to Apple. As I'm about to say, I would switch.
I didn't think about that.
All I'm saying is I'm loving the Amazon technology.
And secretly shout out to Amazon.
Yeah, shout out to Amazon because we're gonna switch. No, it's just because I don't want to say her name, but Alexa over here because then she'll start to go off. And I love her. She's so great. And then I don't know. I would just switch in a heartbeat. I feel like Amazon's just on like an upward hill with all of their stuff. So I'm really excited to see what they'll do, like specifically in the movie TV realm.
Not gonna lie, I like being like living here in Phoenix because I get free 2-hour delivery. That is magical.
I didn't even think about that. I would consider moving to Phoenix for that alone.
Oh my god,
that
no. It's way too hot here. You don't know.
No, I do.
She's alright with the heat. She can't do cold. She would actually be fine.
Okay,
I'm a lizard.
I can't do cold. Here's the thing. You think that until it's 115 for a week straight. And like there is like trust me, I moved here because of the heat, because of my sickle cell, and I can't do cold. It gets way too hot here. But luckily we were almost done.
Yeah, that's what I said. I think we finished. I think we hit all our topics.
Well, okay. So before we left, I did want to see if you wanted to talk about one topic because I know it's kind of important to you, but you didn't put it down. Mainly because we talked about it last week. What is that? The 911 show, the show being canceled and then being picked up. I was pretty sure you might want to talk about that.
Okay.
The 911 show.
I couldn't think of the name. Okay, I'm sorry.
There is a show called 911. I'm pretty sure.
No, I loved it. That's so funny. I love that. The 911 show.
Yeah, that's the best I could do at that moment. I'm sorry.
It's pretty good. You're like halfway there.
2/3. 2/3 of it there. No,
Brooklyn.
I take it back.
That's it. Okay, now I remember. Now I remember the name of the show.
Your math is not
I take it back. I don't do all that. Anyways, so our final story. We had meant to get this out earlier, but we had some technical difficulties.
Sorry about that.
It's not anybody's fault. It's just it's technology's fault. That's whose fault it is.
Amen.
Whoever made the screen recording app,
don't out them.
I don't know their name, so I was gonna say whoever made it. You didn't do the best job. You should patch it. Put out another update before we have to leave the bad review. I was gonna be polite about it. You just assumed I was gonna be bad. Anyways, one of the big stories that we wanted to talk about from last week. That hopefully, if you're a big fan of the show, you already know. But Brooklyn Nine-Nine has been saved from cancellation. And it's been picked up by NBC. And one of their execs said, honestly, they were so happy to bring it there. They've always felt like it was a missed opportunity, and so they're happy that it's at where they feel like it should have been their home the whole time.
Yes, amen. Because Brooklyn Nine-Nine, if you guys don't watch, you should. It's hilarious. That's basically all I got.
You had the total talk and everything. A list basically just started.
I was planning on continuing, but I was gonna practice some self-control and tone that baby down.
Okay. All right. Well,
I'm trying, guys. I'm trying. I know I can rant. I know I can.
And I guess I'll just add that I am one of those people that needs to start watching it because I haven't. Again, I just don't watch regular TV a lot. I typically wait till it's on streaming services. And with Hulu, it's kind of iffy on what you're going to watch, especially if it's already on TV. Because a lot of times they'll just carry 4 episodes at a time. So, stuff that's already on TV, I typically don't check with Hulu. Because I already have a feeling that it's not going to have all the episodes. But
that makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
So, in this situation, Hulu does have everything.
Okay, good to know. So I will start watching that and find out about it. And then we can talk about it.
All right. Yep. I think it just finished. It just finished season 5 Sunday. So
I think so too.
Yep.
So that said,
I think that's all we got for you on this round of our news special. I don't know that's how we say it, but that's what we're saying today.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, share the video with your friends, all that good stuff. And don't forget to comment and give us, stuff that you want us to talk about if we haven't touched on it. All that great stuff. You guys got anything to add? Because I'm kind of stopping there.
No,
I don't think so. Yeah, just feel free to hit us up, interact.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Have a good week.